Hello, everybody. It is Tom, and I am pissed off. So, this is not going to be a long video. I literally have my morning oatmeal sitting here congealing next to me, but I'm mad and I need to talk about it. So you're gonna listen. No, I'm sorry. You don't have to listen, but I'm gonna talk about it because this is not okay. All right. So probably most of you know what I'm going to talk about. Probably also because the title will likely give you an idea, even though I haven't decided what I'm going to call it yet. But yeah, this is about Kit Connor. So as you guys probably already know, last night, it was last night for me anyway, but yesterday, Kit came back onto Twitter to come out as bisexual because people would not stop harassing him about his sexuality. And I mean, this is just wrong on so many levels. First of all, I mean, obviously, very proud of Kit for. It's complicated because, I'm proud of Kit for coming out. Obviously, that's a huge thing, but it sucks that he had to do it in this way when he was clearly not ready to do so. And again, he is 18. He is 18 years old, and no one should be forced to come out, but especially not someone that young, you know? But yeah, I'm gonna try to focus on a few points here because they're ones that I feel need to be made here. So first of all, okay, so the whole reason behind the harassment in the first place was the accusations of queerbaiting, which, if you're not familiar with the term, so basically queerbaiting is when a piece of fiction, note that word, a piece of fiction like a TV show or movie or something, hints that there could be queer characters, but then does not follow through. So it's the idea of you're bringing in the queer people with hope of are these characters gay? Oh my god, that's so cool. And then in the end, it turns out that they're straight. So there have been a lot of popular TV shows that have done this. I will not name names. I'm sure most of you can think of a few examples on your own. But that's what queerbaiting is. So because Kit was playing Nick, a bisexual guy in a queer show featuring pretty much mostly queer actors, people had this. They felt like they were entitled. I'm sorry, Benny is scratching in the background. Benny, I'm doing a serious video, could you not? Yeah, so because Kit was appearing in a queer-led TV show about queer people, people thought that they were entitled to know his sexuality. And when he did not want to talk about his sexuality and was, gasp, seen holding hands with a girl, oh my god, they were like, queerbaiter! Which is just ridiculous, because you cannot queerbait as a real person living your life. That's not a thing, okay? Internet, that's not a thing. It cannot happen. And also, BuzzFeed News reported on this, that's how big it is, and one of the comments there I thought made a really good point of saying that a lot of accusations of queerbaiting against real people comes down to biphobia. And I think in this case especially, that is absolutely true. Okay, so I am pansexual. For a long time I identified as bisexual, but later on I just decided that pan was a word that fit me better. And whether I'm going out with a guy or a girl, or no one, as the case has been for a very long time, whether I'm going out with a guy or a girl, I am still pansexual. That is not something that changes depending on who you're with. So whether Kit is holding hands with a guy or a girl or no one or everyone, he is still bi. And you have no right to demand, I'm so mad that I can't even form sentences right now. But it's especially galling that the people harassing him are fans of this show. Did you watch the show? Because the whole point, not the whole point, but one of the best things about Heartstopper is the fact that Nick is given the space and the time to come out on his own terms. No one forces him. No one outs him. There's not that scene where someone catches him kissing Charlie and then word spreads and he has to come out because everyone already knows. Like, that is a beautiful thing that he is given that space and that time to really figure out his identity and come out when he is ready. And the fact that Kit was robbed of that same thing is just heartbreaking. It is horrible. Like, why would you do this to him? Why would you do this to anybody? You guys suck, like, so much. Yeah, and it's also really sad because my experience with the Heartstopper fandom, at least in terms of, you know, people who comment on these videos, people who have approached me on Twitter and on other social media platforms, is that everyone is wonderful. This is like a caring, loving community of people who want to embrace others for their differences and, you know, be accepting, be kind, be golden retrievers. Be the golden retriever you want to see in the world, you know? But there's this subset of fans who have this, like, they feel this, like, rabid ownership of the actors and feel like they are, I can't even talk about it. It's awful. It's awful that people are doing this. And I hope, if nothing else, I hope that the good that can come out of this is some people realizing that it's not okay to force people to label themselves when they're not ready. Obviously, we want to see queer people being represented. We want to see queer actors playing queer parts whenever possible because historically those parts have been played by straight actors. And we want to, you know, celebrate queerness and celebrate people who can bring that truth into these stories. But at the same time, don't let that turn into, you must publicly declare your sexuality before you are allowed to play a queer role. You know? Like, I feel like that's the opposite of what we want here. Okay. Maybe that's all for my rant at present, but like I know a lot of people are really mad about this, and you should be mad, and I hope that this doesn't sour Kit Connor on what should be a wonderful time in his life of playing a character who is so beloved by so many people and, you know, in a show that means so much to so many people and is really groundbreaking in so many ways. Like, this should be a happy time for him. This should not be a time when he has to deal with shit like this. So, people, now I know none of you did this because you are wonderful, but if by chance someone who pressured Kit Connor into coming out happens to watch this video and watch to this point of this video, stop it. Stop it right now. Don't stop watching the video. That's not what I meant. I mean, stop doing this to people. Stop demanding to know people's sexualities when they're not ready. Just stop it. Okay. I'm going to eat my oatmeal now. I hope you guys are well, and I will talk to you another time. Okay.